This week in Jamaica Now.
It is quite likely that the death toll will be significantly higher.
Broken hearts, Hurricane Dorian parks over the Bahamas and leaves a generation of devastation. How the Caribbean is rallying to help. Then, the chilling account of a 38-year-old father who watched strong storm surge currents wash away his 5-year-old son. The Bahamian Prime Minister is brought to tears as he gets an aerial view of the devastation. In Jamaica, 2 more parishes under a state of public emergency. Down to the wire, PNP Elections set for Saturday in the Battle of the Peters. And Marigold Harding returned as the chairman of the Board of Governors of the scandal-hit Edna Manley College. I'm Damian Mitchell, and this is Jamaica Now. It was a week of heartbreak for the people of the Bahamas following the passage of Hurricane Dorian on Sunday into Monday. In the ensuing days, the death toll would swell. Up to late Friday, it was at 33, with projections by Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands for a staggering increase.
We are praying for and hoping for no further loss of life. But based on the severity of the problem in both Abaco and Grand Bahama, it is quite likely that the death toll will be significantly higher than reported already.
The stories are devastating. How the Category 5 storm parked over the northeastern islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama, dumping rain, packing punishing winds, and pushing powerful sea surges through buildings up to 20 feet high. Shelters were decimated and more than 13,000 homes flattened.
That's the water hitting my front room window, which is extremely high. Of course, I'm already completely flooded out. That's my kitchen window that water is hitting, and that has to be a minimum of about 20 feet.
Then there was the chilling story of 38-year-old Adrian Farrington, who watched helplessly as a powerful storm surge swept his 5-year-old son from the roof of a house. Farrington told the Nassau Guardian that he struggled to keep Adrian Jr. afloat, clinging to each other, surrounded by surging waves and floating piles of debris. After an hour of wading in the water with his fractured leg, Farrington said he put his son on top of a roof to protect him from flooding and what appeared to be sharks lurking in the water. He said the child cried, calling for daddy. Still in the water, Farrington said he tried to help the boy to remain calm. I kept telling him, don't cry, close your mouth, don't cry, keep breathing, don't cry, close your mouth, he said. But before Farrington could sit on the roof to hold him, the gust from the hurricane dragged the boy across the roof back into the surge on the next side. I still could remember him reaching for me and calling daddy, Farrington said. He was at the local hospital in the capital when he was speaking with the Nassau Guardian. He was getting treatment for broken bones. Farrington said he pushed the debris aside and rushed to get to the other side where his son had fallen. However, Farrington said he could not see anything when he went underwater. The search continues for the little boy. Meanwhile, Bahamian Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis was brought to tears as he flew over Abaco to survey the damage. He said the storm has caused a generational devastation. The United Nations has said 70,000 people in the Bahamas were in immediate need of aid initially. And Jamaica's Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith said 31 Jamaicans on Abaco Island have been reported safe. They will be evacuated from the island today. Approximately 1,000 Jamaicans live in Abaco, making it the 3rd most populous area of residence by Jamaicans in the Bahamas, behind Nassau and Freeport. Johnson-Smith says another 12 Jamaican construction workers who were evacuated from Grand Key by their employer before the storm were also safe. And a Jamaican teacher and another woman who were missing have been found and reunited with their families. Jamaicans who have been unable to contact their families in the Bahamas may call the Consular Affairs Department at 876-926-4220-9 extension 3346 and leave their contact information for checks to be made. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced that a state of public emergency has been declared in the parishes of Clarendon and St. Catherine. It comes amid reports that the murder tally continues to increase in Clarendon and St. Catherine. Since the start of the year, there have been 100 murders in Clarendon, making the parish the 2nd bloodiest police division behind St. Andrew South. Since January, 66 people have been killed in the St. Catherine North Police Division. That's a 14% reduction over the similar period last year. The St. Catherine North Division has been under a state of public emergency since April. However, in St. Catherine South, there have been 91 murders, a 50% increase. States of public emergency are also now in Hanover, St. James, and Westmoreland. It's down to the wire in the race for presidency of the People's National Party, PNP. First Peter David Phillips will be challenged for the party's top post by second Peter Murcutt Bunting. The election gets underway at the National Arena at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and will end at 4 o'clock. The Electoral Office of Jamaica has been contracted to run the election and says a result should be ready by 6 p.m. Some 2,889 delegates will cast their ballots in the high-stakes presidential elections. Phillips has said he is confident that he will be returned, but Bunting is equally upbeat that he will rise to become president. Marigold Harding has been reappointed chairperson of the board of the scandal-hit Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts in St. Andrew. Harding, along with 10 former board members, have been reappointed with immediate effect and will serve for a period of 3 years ending on August 25, 2022. 4 new members have also been appointed: Winston McCain, Dorian Reed, Colleen Douglas, and student Kasheen Martin. The appointments come just over a week after the Edna Manley scandal took on renewed attention with the decision to suspend the principal, Dr. Nicolene DeGrasse Johnson. Her suspension coincides with the controversy over her handling of reports of sexual harassment involving a senior lecturer. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune in to Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Damian Mitchell, and before we go, more sights, sounds, and scenes from the Bahamas following the passage of the devastating Hurricane Dorian.
During a press briefing on Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Hewitt Minnis revealed that more deaths are expected. At that time, the death toll was at 7. He's encouraging Bahamians to show compassion to the families who lost loved ones. From Dr. Minnis' assessment, homes in Marsh Harbor, Abaco received an excess of 60% of damages, and the mud was decimated. Other government officials are visiting Abaco to assess damages.
Just a warning to people, just be careful of those social media reports. We cannot take our resources and send them to areas to investigate things, and the reporting is false. We have already found that out as a result of a number of reports. Remember, every report that is put out there, false or true, has to be investigated. And if we keep sending our first responders to areas where the reports are false, that would be resources being taken away from this fight.